Beautiful afternoon here, Sierra Springs Ranch. Showing you this beautiful road. I'm gonna walk down this road and I'll share my road with you. Got a lot of family members and friends that are really suffering with rough medical issues, unusual ones. And so along my path, I was a young man when I lost my father to cancer, esophagus cancer, and he was treated up till his death with chemotherapy. I was 22 years old, and I'm now 55. When I was about 32, my brother was back in the hospital with a second bout of cancer. He was about 35. He was 35. And I'll let you look at this pretty road while I tell you my ugly one. So they loaded him up with that chemotherapy until he died of organ failure, just like my father did. Liver. And fast forward up till 2025. I'm 55 years old and helping my stepfather go through cancer in brain and lymph nodes and such, and they decided, hey, let's fill him up with chemotherapy, and they did that until all his organs failed and he died from organ failure. And so with that in mind, I look back over my career as a cabinet maker, building people's kitchens, hundreds and hundreds of kitchens. And I was never able to get away with a misaligned drawer or one little screw loose or misaligned. I mean, people would come unglued, and I had jokes about, you just don't screw up somebody's kitchen. You'll never get away with it. It's not worth it. And I don't know, as a tradesman, I have that much pride in my work, and my customers have that demand for quality of workmanship. But when it comes to their own body, they don't seem to care. They don't research the products. When I'm doing a cabinets, homeowners are like, it's got to be this color, and if it's a shade off, boy, that's a problem. And I hear of a family member that was supposed to get his knee replaced, and they replaced the wrong one. But the culture with these doctors is, you don't even you're so flattered to have their approval to work on your body that you won't criticize them for working on the wrong part of you. And so I'm not saying to hate your doctor. I'm not saying don't go to the doctor. I'm just saying, do your research. If something doesn't seem right, it's probably not, and the fact that they're still shooting cancer patients up with chemotherapy after 35 years of failure that I'm personally a part of is unacceptable from a profession's. Forget putting them in jail. They should at least lose their license. I worked for Sears Home Improvement Products. It's part of my path here, and the sales were done in home, and so we had a sales team, and we had a install a production team or an ops team, depending on the round of layoffs and what titles we got. But these in-home salespeople, they were offered spiffs here and there when we had merchandise that we needed to move. for various reasons. And so the fact that chemotherapy is the only medicine that these doctors get a commission, I believe it's about $6,000 per dose. And you know, so if this is true, I'm just adding up how much money these people were making, and looking me in the eye, and no wonder they want to keep them going. They want to get 3 squirts into them instead of 2. You know, that sounds pretty bad, but this is my road, right? So now we fast forward up to our current healthcare system that everybody is so scared that they're going to lose a part of being a part of the system. What the hell is that? It's a monopoly, you know, and it's a government monopoly, basically. Just ask the Indians how good the government took care of them in disputes, and why the hell would you use them for your health care? And a personal note to the Native Americans, ask yourself why you use Chapaday. The government never did a damn thing for you. I'm not saying anything bad about Chapaday. I'm just saying, you know, look at your history books before you drop your drawers, I reckon. So, think about how important healthcare is to you and what you get from it. You know, I see a fractured system, and I saw that with the Sears Home Improvements in my career there. Rose from an installer to running the whole operations there in several states. And so I saw the whole evolution of the corporation, and I was able to experience it from every level. And so as the company tried to help the local office, they would add in processes and this, that, and the other, and just get in the way of a homeowner calling a person on the phone and saying, hey, we need some shit done. And there was all this, that, and the other that you had to do. And so I see that same thing trying to reach a doctor. You know, this doctor can't talk to you about that doctor can't talk to you about this. I've got a family member that's with Kaiser Permanente, who's has had dementia for a couple years and hasn't seen a doctor in person. How the hell do you treat a dementia person over the phone? Shame on you. Shame on you. I don't know if I can keep going. That hurts, you know. And so the same patient, I just looked over a bill from Sutter Health. She was admitted from a memory care center, and the bill for an overnight stay was around $40,000 to $50,000. This is a block from the memory care center, and the bill off the top of my head was ambulance ride $6,000, ER visit maybe $9,000, med $700, something else $700, and trauma $19,000. What is trauma? And like, where's the breakdown there? You know? And so even though the cut for the member is only $100, so they think they're getting a great value, who's paying for that? You know, probably your grandkids. You know, you're just kicking one hell of a can down to your grandkids. So maybe it's time to ask your doctor why they aren't using natural remedies first. Why are we turning to these medicines first? And how sure are we that these medicines are interacting with each other properly? And how do we know what medicine's right for us if they don't know what we're eating? How can you predict what the medicine's going to do if you don't know the environment that it's going into. You've got a person from the south has a diet, person from the north has a diet. Same medicine can't work equal depending on those diets. It's preposterous. And so think about why your doctor's using a universal cure for a local problem, right? You're local. You can't get any more local than your body. So I don't have anything against doctors. I don't have anything against people that go to doctors. I do ask that people hold their doctors to the same account that I was held at. Granted, I only made 25 bucks an hour, and these people were up my ass. And y'all are out there letting people cut your damn knees up and not say a word. Damn it. Our daddies would not allow this shit, you know? We gotta wake these people up somehow. This is our world, you know. We don't have to bow down. We want change, we gotta make change. Well, you know, I want peace and love for everybody. And I want these doctors to be held accountable. They need to really look back at why they got into that industry. I was pulled away from cabinetry half a dozen times throughout my career, but I always ended up back there. And so if you're not a doctor, don't be a doctor, right? Dave Matthews says don't be somebody that you're not. And you know, if that oath doesn't come naturally, you don't belong there. So let's think about our diets. Let's think about how we treat our bodies before we start relying on others to treat it. If you want that medicine to do well, give it the best body to get into and do its job. That means you got to get all your circulatory going. You can't sit around hoping things are going to get better. Your body will heal itself if you give it the right environment. You just have to start. And it has to be you. Your doctor's not going to help you. Your boyfriend or girlfriend's not going to help you. Your parents aren't going to talk you into it. It's got to be you. But you can do it. Because you're still alive. I had to start from death. And I made it. So, if you're alive, you got a hell of a head start.